Hello, 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 and welcome to Spending Time with Dr. Walt, your local, old school, over 50 gamer. Today, I am going to take you on a journey through one of the most mentally challenging stories in the world of Cyberpunk2077. In my last video, we reviewed the story of Pan Am and how she went from outcast to co-leader of her family clan. That story was character-based and, as a player, not challenging as far as decision-making. This story, however, appropriately titled Sinnerman, can rock you to your core if you let it. Before I get started, let me put this warning out there for you. This story deals with religious themes. In my review, I am not attempting to put forth my beliefs, nor convert anyone to one religion or another. That's not what I'm trying to do. In addition, there is a very, very disturbing scene toward the end of the video. A scene that kind of stopped me in my tracks as a player. And to be honest, I could not actually complete the playthrough on my first time through. And when we get to that scene, I'll mention it once again. And I would love for you to continue watching this video, but I want to be sure that I put it out there because I feel that this is a very needed warning for you. So there you have it. You have been warned. Okay. The story of Sinnerman begins like so many other stories in Cyberpunk, with a call from a fixer, and this fixer happens to be named Wakado. She calls us to do this very, very special job, and she wants us to work for a person by the name of Bill Jablonski, and Mr. Jablonski wants to hire us to eliminate someone, a bad character, if you will. I know that sounds dark enough already, but this is the world of Cyberpunk, and the law of the land is what it is. It is a future dystopian society where the law looks the other way for folks to settle their own grievances. And if you think our world could never devolve into something like this, pay attention to what's happening in the world around you, project out about 50 years, and get back to me. But I digress. V is hired, and she is sometimes hired to help people, sometimes to eliminate them. As a player, you follow through on these tasks, and those things are sometimes up to you in terms of what you choose to do or not to do. In this particular case, after we meet with Mr. Jablonski, he tells us about the job. If you use the right selections, he will tell you why he wants you to actually kill Joshua, who is our Sinnerman. Well, the reason for that is that Joshua killed Mr. Jablonski's wife. Okay, that comes out in the dialogue, and I do apologize. My choices in this particular playthrough did not allow for Mr. Jablonski to, explain that. But that is exactly what happened. He leads us on a car chase to chase after the vehicle that's transporting the Sinnerman, Joshua. And of course, we give chase, eventually chasing down the police car, as you can see here in the background. I have to admit, this is some good driving on my behalf. Especially the time I hit the pole and I had to start driving backwards. It did. in reverse field, and boom, I'm right back in it. So, yep, that was me. I was on it, and thank goodness I don't drive like this in real life.
Stop the damn car!
Okay, so once we get to a certain point in the chase, Mr. Jablonski tells us to stop the car, and he jumps out the car. Man, he wants to put this guy down. Now, as a player, so long as we don't pull our weapons, okay, and we just kind of follow behind him, then we're going to be okay to continue this quest. But if you do, if V pulls his or her weapon and go full out and take out Joshua, this mission will come to an end. And I do believe that some people who've played this, sadly, have gone through and fulfilled the contract, and they lost out on all the wonderful content that is to follow. I mean, if you end the mission here, then you don't get a chance to see all of the stuff that I'm going to talk about here the next little bit about this video. And as you can see, things don't work out for Mr. Jablonski, as he failed to yield when warned by the cop, and of course he gets taken down. But again, we didn't draw our weapons, so we're not an immediate threat to anyone, and this allows for us to continue the story. Sadly, I do believe that a lot of people may have fulfilled the mission and did not get to the rest of the story, and that is a shame, because there's a lot of nice content that follows in this story. Well, here's where things kind of take a turn, because now we see Joshua. He jumps out of the car. He's actually giving orders as if he's in charge, and this is odd. He's got his prison gear on, and there's a cop there, and then there's a lady in the car. Her name is Rachel, and we come to find out more about her later. But he's giving out orders as if he's in charge. Have a listen to this.
Precinct will mop up here.
Bill Jablonski. Ring a bell.
Sadly, yes. Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom.
Wait a sec, you're V. I heard of you.
Can't say the same about you.
We can't take her. Out of the question. She's way too big a threat. Well, I want to give her a job. Christ on a stick.
Finally, something that isn't a complete snore fest. Could binge watch this all day if I had some popcorn.
Gonna tell me what it is you want from me?
Well, this one time Rachel is right. We can't stay here. Come with us. You'll find out all you need to know on the way. Got to object, strongly. Noted. But you don't have a vote here.
Ha! That's it. Got no fucking idea what this is about. But if you don't go with them, I'm never talking to you again.
Once in the vehicle, we get a little bit more about what the story is about.
Move it. We're running
And
late.
have a listen to this dialogue.
Have you ever experienced anything that changed the meaning of existence? Changed your life?
Don't feel like talking about it.
But then let me speak. 12 years ago, I was sentenced to prison for armed robbery. And other sins. I shot and killed several people in cold blood, and it didn't mean anything to me at the time. But behind bars, you get all the time in the world to think. And I thought to correct the errors of my ways.
Why'd you shoot him?
I was holding a gun. I didn't like the way they looked at me, and I had the power to stop them. I still see their faces just before I... frozen in time. God, give me strength to never forget.
Still don't get why you're telling me this.
I want you to understand what I am about to do.
Spill already. What do you want from me?
Stay with me for the day, and I'll pay you what you were promised to kill me.
Excuse me? With what money?
Not mine. The studio's. And the studio will pay.
Yeah, as you can see, it appears that Joshua has a plan, and we don't quite know what that plan is just yet at this particular point. But again, we are very curious. So we ask the question and we continue along, and he assures us that, hey, if we go along with this, the contract that we have on him, the open contract that we have on him to take him out at the end of the day will be fulfilled. And we're like, okay, we gotta see how this is gonna work out.
You don't like Rachel? She's got the gift of the gab, surely.
I'm merely a springboard for her career. A high-value asset. You're the one I want to talk to.
Vasquez, keep an eye on them. I'm gonna stay in the car. Keep
Just
it short.
till the end of the day.
I'm on a tight schedule.
Till the end of the day.
I sense anything going wrong. I'm out.
No one will force you to stay.
When we reach our stop, we're still not sure why we're there. What we find out is that this is another step in Joshua's continued attempt at redemption. Just keep in mind that Joshua has killed many people, as he stated during the ride. But as you see in this next interaction, it was the love and forgiveness of one individual that completely turned his life around. And this is the person we're meeting with now. Her name is Zuleka. And we learn more about her when we sit down and talk with her in a couple of minutes.
What you wrote me in your last letter. She is everything you spoke of. V, meet Zuleka.
Wouldn't mind knowing what's going on here. Anyone?
You haven't told her anything?
We just met. There wasn't time.
You really are insane. Mama isn't back yet. We can talk inside until she returns. Come in.
Hurry up. I'll be waiting.
In the meantime, we actually do what we do as video gamers, and we explore the house. And as we explore the house, we start to see certain things. When we first enter the house, there's a shrine there, and so apparently someone has died here, or someone's being remembered. And so we get the sneaky suspicion that, okay, this could be someone that Joshua killed at some point in time. And so we go around the house and we start seeing various things. We get a chance to go into one of the computers and we read the emails. And one of the emails just kind of lays it out that Zuleka is actually talking to a priest, and she's trying to come to a forgiveness for Joshua. And she is able to do so. And that kind of sets Joshua on the path to his own redemption. But there's one email there where she's asking for the strength for the mother to do the same. So you kind of see where this is all leading. But let's let the scene at the table play out, because there's some very interesting dialogue, and it also provides us with some very, very needed answers about what's actually happening. Have a listen.
Please, sit down. Can I offer you anything? A drink?
A glass of water.
Please. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, one God. Amen.
Zuleka is the sister of the man I killed. She wrote me letters while I was doing time. That is how we two were united. Through forgiveness.
Mean to say you let the man who killed your brother off the hook?
Judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Whether it finds enemies or neighbors, God's love knows no bounds on earth and neither should ours.
Not buying it. Not at all. You believe in a merciful God, yet he allowed for your brother's murder. Let it happen.
I grieved for Reuben. You cannot know how much. I wanted him back. But then God showed me his plan, and I found peace.
The Lord knows I regret killing Reuben, but if not for him, I never would have found the path to God.
We can't know the paths of divine providence.
Do you believe in God, V?
Yes. Through the conversation, they confirmed that, yeah, he did kill somebody in the family. He killed her brother. But she has found the strength to forgive him. And which is, obviously mighty big of her, and it just shows her strength in her faith.
Anything like this.
I'm all ears.
Joshua, he thinks he's the Messiah and wants to end his own life.
That is not true.
Wait.
I never said
What?
I was any sort of messiah.
Wait, what?
Suicide? Do you really
He-
think that's
he
what the
wants to
Lord
do
would ever
what?
want from you?
It won't
Okay,
be
so-
suicide.
Hold on a second. So this guy,
What exactly is going on here, Joshua?
When the media learned I'd found God in prison, the next day my face was on the cover of every scream sheet. A brain dance studio took notice. They sent representatives to make me an offer.
Bloodsuckers.
I was facing the electric chair. Now, with the studio's help, my death will be more than a state-sanctioned murder.
They want to scroll a brain dance of Joshua being crucified. An execution like any other, just garbed in holy robes.
This is insanity, pure and simple.
It's the one thing worse than insanity. Blasphemy.
Zuleika transformed me into a child of God. It's time I repaid that debt. I want to bear witness to love's existence, in a manner that all the lost souls on this wretched earth can understand.
Why love?
If unconditional love exists, then so must God. It's time the world was reminded of his divine presence. Think of the millions jacked into their feeds like livestock. The children growing up in gang-infested streets. Do they know love? Think of the joy toys on Jig Jig Street. Coked-out corpos in their offices, and murderers who stalk the streets. I want to reach them. I will reach them. And think of paid killers like you, V. Have you known love? Do you know what it is?
okay, this guy wants to basically get crucified, and he wants to have it all recorded on BDs and BD technology. So let me explain what BDs are. BDs, short for brain dance, in the world of cyberpunk, is a technology that allows the user to be completely immersed in what they're viewing. It's kind of like virtual reality, except virtual reality times 1,000. So if you can take virtual reality and imagine by putting on the glasses that it taps into your very neurological system to where you're actually able to smell, feel, hear, taste, see, just everything that the victim feels, even feel their emotions, then you have what BD is. And BD has been used in certain industries to enhance certain experiences, if you can imagine what we're talking about here. But BD technology is also, there's also a black market for BD technology for snuff BDs. So where you can actually experience someone getting killed up to the point where they die. So This is absolutely crazy. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to do this on a legal basis. And Joshua has apparently gotten the ear of a BD technology company that Rachel's a part of, and now they want to film his death using BD technology, and he wants to share it with the rest of the world. So as we can see, the mother arrives, and she is completely upset.
And who are you?
And although the daughter is able to, find a way
Mrs.
to
El
forgive
Amar,
Joshua,
I
there
have
is
come
no
to
way
beg
that
you
the
for
mother is able to do
forgiveness.
that.
You murdered my son. That is something I can never forgive.
I truly do regret the pain I have caused you.
Out of my house, no! Just go, please. Out, all of you!
And, this is a tough, painful scene, obviously, but
We should leave.
it's understandable. Certainly
Please, Mrs.
understandable.
Elamar.
He wants forgiveness. He's
It's
not going to
okay.
get it.
Just go.
She's not going to give it.
Took my Reuben from
So,
me.
this is one of those scenes that, hey, you're not going to get what you want just because you want forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get it. And that's what he experienced here.
Just wish I could have talked to Gloria and explained everything. Somehow I thought... I thought she'd find it in her heart to forgive me.
Time to grab a bite to eat.
Who could blame her? It's not easy to forgive your son's murderer.
Stevenson, we all knew how that would end.
If you forgive anyone their sins, they are forgiven. If you do not forgive them, they are not forgiven.
You really want to do this? Get nailed to a cross?
Yes. It is something I must do. For if this won't shake the world to its core and wake us from our collective nightmare, then nothing will.
Take Stevenson
Our
inside,
next stop is
grab us
to
all
a diner
table.
where
Need a
we
word with
find
our
out
stowaway
a little bit more
here.
information. Once we arrive at the destination, would you believe it? Yeah, Rachel. She puts it to us and she's like, hey, you know what? You've been a
Wait
big
up a second.
distraction for us, and I would double what you're making if you just walk away. Just walk away. We need this dude to go through with this right here. And it looks like you kind of, you kind of messing things up a little bit because you're putting a doubt in his head. And why don't you just walk away? If you think I'm leaving at this point in time, after I spent this time doing this, no freaking way. Are you kidding me? If you're playing the game, don't do it. Stay with this. Stay with this. Follow this through to the end. You'll find another way to make your eddies. I promise you that much. Okay, there's plenty of ways to make eddies in the game. Don't do that. Follow through on this mission right here.
Think.
Look, you're no shrink and neither am I. We're both just out to get paid. Stevenson could be a fat old fucking gold vein for our studio.
And that's my concern because...
You're fucking with his mind, asking probing questions. You're making him doubt, and most importantly, jeopardizing my investment. So I'm prepared to pay you double what he's promised you to quietly walk away.
Don't do it, V.
My answer's no.
Why do I think you don't understand what I'm offering you?
Understand just fine.
And we go inside and
go
and
inside.
we have dinner or lunch or whatever that meal is, and we have
Not
some
bad
pretty good
for
conversation.
petty work off the streets.
We learn a little bit more. We find that everyone's affected by this by what's happening.
Grown
At the end of the day,
curious.
we have a conversation with ourselves
In pain
in
and
form of
profit, that's
Johnny
how.
Silverhand,
One
who
secret,
is
the other's
the
insane.
reason for
Who
Cyberpunk
knows if they are
2077 in the
congruous
first place.
concepts.
And
But yeah, I'm
the
curious
conversation
too.
is very,
I've
very
been
interesting.
surprised
It allows for a
before.
lot of introspective, between us and Johnny, who's implanted on our brain. So, man, it gets a little deep. You get multiple sides of one story here. Have a
This
listen to
Jesus
this.
shit ain't fooling me. You even think about making a break for it, your ass is going down.
Nobody's paying you to open your mouth, Vasquez.
This brain dance. I'm curious. Tell me more.
Title's the passion. We're speaking to the LCD, of course. And it's gonna revolutionize BD.
How so?
Well, Stevenson's furlough is only so long. We can only scroll the last bit with him. But we'll fill in the run-up to the finale with BD doubles and Emobank assets. It'll feel like Stevenson, though.
How is that even possible?
Give me a break. We're part of EBM. Infinite investment in tech. Couple of years and we won't be using actors anymore. My dream of the day.
So why Josh? Sounds like you don't even need him now.
The son of man's agony. You can't weave it strictly out of digital threads just yet.
And you? Got any say in all this?
He forced the writers to go with the Christian gospel according to Luke. They'd originally opted for John.
Guess that's important for...
John's version is crude and over the top. The Gospel of Luke speaks more to my sensibility. Besides, Luke's Christ is prepared for what awaits him. I want the world to understand that. Feel it.
So what is it you want to convey exactly?
That Christ was merciful and continues to die for the world's sins.
Chatter's pointless. That's enough. Stevenson can't be distracted. He has to focus now.
Relax, Rachel.
Yes, why, I don't know anything about you. How do you spend your leisure time? What do you do to unwind?
None of your fucking business.
I mean it as a serious question.
I meditate.
Great to have an outlet. Something to give you peace of mind.
True peace of mind can only come through the spirit of divine grace.
Know what your problem is, all of you? You refuse to understand that spirituality can only ever be personal. And why the fuck are you here anyway? For the free meal?
Back off me, okay?
And maybe you should fuck off, huh? You're not part of our group? Ugh, all this talk about grace and salvation and transformation. I could puke. Take it from a BD producer? Religion's an elaborate lie. All of them.
But, Rachel,
No, we're done for the day. Finish your meal, we'll put you up at the studio. And you, get lost. I'll get your fee soon.
goodbye, V. I am truly glad to have met you.
Really well played, that.
What do you make of it all?
Guy just might be the biggest nut job I've ever seen. But it's still corporate exploitation.
Your cynicism's starting to wear thin on me.
We could talk in circles, but who cares what we think? What would it change? Corpse will continue to grow rich off his type, and the masses will live on with their pipe dreams.
Hang on, where's Rebel Johnny? Seem to have lost him.
Well, I found him. He's inside that guy. He's the real rebel.
Make up your mind. Which is it, Nutjob or Messiah?
He's fucked in the head. The world's fucked in the head. And you're fucked in the head because my fucked up head is inside it. Guess if you want to save the world, that's the first step. Get fucked in the head.
What do you think? God exists?
Fuck, kill me, please.
Come on, serious question.
What? Why? So you flatlined, then got your beat back. Don't tell me that's left you wondering if a construct can even be saved.
Truth is, I died and rose again. Plain and simple.
Uh-huh, so what was that? A miracle? What's it make you? A messiah, a phoenix, or a factory-restored early model archer?
I got no fucking idea what it was, and neither do you.
Tell you exactly what brought you back. A clever bit of corpo tech. If there's a true messiah among us, I'll tell you who it is. Saburo Arasaka.
One you'd summarily execute if you ran into him.
See, that's why I'm me and you're you. You drop to your knees before gods. I drop them. Pop them right between the eyes.
Gonna tell me you don't think about being a digital psyche? Possible consequences thereof. Really? I mean, are you already dead? Or alive till the last existing digighost of you is shredded?
Meaning, like, am I gonna ascend to digi-heaven?
Descent to digi-hell's more likely, but yeah. If there is life after death, is Silverhand already living the afterlife? Meaning I'm talking to his animated epitaph?
I don't give it an ounce of thought. Surprise. To me, I'm just that. Me. No netherworld, no happy wonder world, just duped digital psyches.
Weird as fuck today. Just kind of unreal. But reality beckons. Come on.
We get a call, of course, from Rachel. She's panicked. Why is Rachel panicked? Well, Rachel's panicked because she's like, hey, you need to get here and talk to Joshua. He's wanting to speak with us. So we hightail it over to the studio. And we get there. And keep in mind, this is supposed to be the night that he goes through with his execution. So when we get there, we see this scene of people standing outside. There are protesters standing outside, what appears to be protesters anyway. And, you know, if you got signs up and you don't know, some people look like they might be supporting what he's doing. Some people look like they might be praying. You know, some people are just there to take pictures, and we don't know exactly what's going on. Okay. So we go through, and we're allowed to pass through the arranged police barricade. When we get inside, we get a chance to see Joshua, and we have a very, detailed conversation with him about what's happening. He is at this point really having second thoughts, and he is afraid. As any person more than likely would be at this point in time had they made this type of decision and they were going through with this. And so it's up to us to either help him or dissuade him at this time. So we meet with Joshua and we have this conversation with him.
Wanted to see me?
I wanted you by my side when my soul departs this world. I have no friends, no family, only strangers as my company.
Still set on scrolling this brain dance?
I am more determined than ever.
It's crazy what you plan to do. Gonna kill yourself while the studio will reap profits long after you're gone.
It's too late. I can't not do it anymore. I am so afraid. Will you pray with me? A prayer of your choice.
Fine. Sure. Lord, through your divine wisdom and guidance, you bestow good fortune. I pray you do so this day, Upon Joshua, upon me.
Time to start. Let's go.
I truly hope Zuleika is praying for me now. Will you stay with me? To the end, I would like you to wield the hammer. Nail me to the cross.
Wait, what are you asking us to do? To drive the nails into your hand? You want us to do what? Okay, so that right there, that took me by surprise. Like, yo, wait a minute, what are you asking me to do? And so you not only want us to stay with you, but you want us to be the one to be the executioner. Why? Why are you doing this? Okay, and let me just tell you, at this point in the story, I was really having doubts. And my first playthrough, to be completely honest with you, I could not do this. You know, I initially thought I could. I got so far, I went and I picked up the hammer and I went there, and then I got there and he was laying on the cross. And it said to drive the nail. And I couldn't. You know, as many people as I had taken out in this game, I backed out of doing this and had someone else do it. And even then, it was tough to watch. But, you know, after on my second playthrough, was my son and I were playing it, and you know, my son's over 18, so don't worry. My son and I were playing this, and we decided we were going to go through and actually perform the act. And let me tell you, when I tell you that this had a severe impact on me as I played it, that would be quite an understatement. Here, take a look at how this plays out.
Are you not the Messiah? Save yourself and save us.
Do you not fear God? You stand condemned under the same sentence.
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
We are punished justly, for we receive what our deeds deserve. But this man has done no wrong. Remember me when you come into your kingdom.
Truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise. Father, Father, into thy hands I commit my spirit.
Amen. Probably my hardest gig, that, but I got through it.
What now?
Going home, where I'll sleep for 2 days straight. Be in touch about your compensation soon.
You shouldn't release the BD. World shouldn't see it.
That's not up to you, that's not up to me.
Okay.
I'll call you.
So that's tough to watch. And if you can imagine, as a player, you actually executing the movements here. Each time the hammer is driven, that's you driving the hammer. Each time he cries out, that's you causing somebody that pain. And as he's up on the cross and he's dying, and you know that you're the person who actually put him there. You're actually the executioner. It's very serene. And again, that was very, very tough. And I know this is a tough world, and we take out criminals, from time to time, and well, all the time. And we have a battle with other enemies, just like you would, if you were fighting enemies in any other game. But when you have to take someone and do it in that manner, it has a different impact on you. At least it did for me. Now, after this was over, I had the opportunity to walk through the crowd and take a look at the people here. And the people here, you see a lot of them are crying. Some of them are praying. You've got the ones who are protesting, obviously. And the whole scene, it's just so crazy. This whole mission was just so crazy. And it's probably one of the most gripping missions I've ever played in a game. And I've played some games with some gripping missions before. And I'm going to do another video with a different game that has other, emotional impacts. But this one was really, really hard and really, really kind of gets to you, because you're not just watching it take place. You're participating in the action. And that's the difference between a video game and watching it on a movie set, is you're actually participating in this, and it's a different feel for it. So, okay, well, that's it for Sinnerman. And I appreciate you watching and staying with me through this review. I know it was a little long, but I think it was worth it. I think it was time well spent. Hopefully you think so. And I truly hope that you enjoyed this story of a self-proclaimed sinner who found his light and wanted to share it with a very dark and disturbed world in hopes of sharing love and saving others. If you like this story, please give it a like. Please subscribe and share this with others. Thank you for spending time with Dr. Walt, the old school gamer. Until next time, as always, I love you. Peace.